Besides eating cereal with water, what is the most outrageous eating sin you have ever witnessed? A watermelon and ketchup sandwich. I call it a sandwich because it makes me sad. Is the watermelon the bun? Or does this monstrosity desecrate bread, too? Kid I used to know in school used to rip open his milk carton and dip his burrito into the chocolate milk. Sometimes he'd even go so far as to rip open the burrito and pour his milk onto the beef and eggs, too. I'm quoting him in her "Creamify the meat." I don't know, man, but the word creamify is just ugh. My mom puts peanut butter on cold pizza. It is the closest flavor to vomit that is not vomit. Mustard on cheesecake. My wife dips PBJs into SpaghettiOs. My sister used to put ketchup on strawberries. Fried eggs with chocolate melted on the yolk. One time, a long time ago, I ate Lucky Charms with Guinness as a St. Patrick's Day bastardization. I would not recommend. Saw a dude eat spaghetti and milk one time. One very dark time. My dad's girlfriend puts cucumber in any hot dish she can. Green chili, chicken soup, taco meat, sky's the limit. She also doesn't believe in draining noodles and will let them sit in hot water until each strand of bloated spaghetti is as thick as a goddamn shoelace. I don't eat there anymore. Peanut butter and mayonnaise sandwich. My baby sister used to eat pancakes and ranch. My mom just accepted it because she was such a picky eater and this was something she just thoroughly enjoyed. We're pretty sure it's 'cause my mom craved both when she was pregnant with her. A couple of years ago when my best friend and I were still in college, she stayed over at mine a few times. It was then that I learned that she liked dipping cheese into hot chocolate. Like, full-on dunking it in, waiting for it to partially melt, swirling it around and then eating it. I love her to bits. She's like my kid sister. But I still haven't entirely recovered. I work at a pub, restaurant waiting tables. This couple walks in who I've never seen but are apparently regulars. The bartender sees them, shoots me a glance, and goes to grab something from the kitchen. Before even taking their order, he's filled the crushed red pepper shaker and told me to take it over to Monsieur. The woman orders a small cup of French onion soup and proceeds to unscrew the cap of this shaker and dump the entirety of it onto her soup, an inch high off the top of her bowl. She's eating this spicy red pepper like cereal and didn't even ask for a drink refill. A ketchup brownie. My cousin, this son of a b. I knew a guy who would bite into Hot Pockets in the middle, holding each end. WTF, man. Dipping Oreos in orange juice. A former friend of mine once poured a can of Coors Light into a bowl of Cheerios. He called it Beerios. Eat cereal with orange juice instead of milk. I watched a guy pour Sprite into a nice $50 bottle of wine because he didn't like the flavor. My Asian relatives eat shrimp with all the legs and stuff still on. My sister would make Ritz cracker sandwiches. Except the thing that went between the two Ritz cracker buns was another Ritz cracker. Except chewed up and spit out. It was disgusting. Mixing ketchup with soda. Granted, we were trying to gross each other out. But still, it was an act of culinary violence unlike anything else I've ever seen. Dude in my dining hall had a plate of sunny side-up eggs. Scooped under an egg with his fork. Brought it up to his mouth. And only touched his lips to the yolk. Proceeded to suck all the yolk. And then slurped the rest of the egg in. It was like a car crash. I couldn't look away, but I was horrified. I used to eat blueberries with ketchup on them because I liked the texture. My whole sibling group eats tomatoes and peeled oranges, clementines like a normal person would eat an apple. But the worst I've ever seen is a guy in my class take a cheese and sauce-filled roll type thing, rip a hole in the bottom and suck it dry. In a restaurant with other people. Another time, my little sister, she was a tiny kid at the time, got gulab jamun at an Indian buffet. They're like donut holes soaked in watered caramel syrup. She leaned over the plate and vacuumed them up off the plate so she didn't get her hands sticky. My friend ran out of milk, so she thought she could possibly use coffee creamer instead. My wife likes crunchy peanut butter and bologna sandwiches with cheese. Her mom also adds mayo. I just can't bring myself to try it. Literally start retching at the thought of the flavor. Drinking ranch straight out of the bottle. I worked in a restaurant that served authentic imported Kobe beef. I had someone order a 16 ounces Kobe filet mignon. Well done. The chef nearly cried and definitely threw things. If I recall correctly, he ended up having to put that $200 steak into the microwave to get it to cook all the way through to well without burning the outside to charcoal. The guest was pleased and his date looked horrified. This is my own confession. I really love to eat lemons. Not in wedges or squeezed on things, but in the way you would eat an orange or a clementine. By peeling it and eating the whole thing. For some reason sourness is just the best to me. I'm a person of many weird food preferences, but this is the one that causes witnesses to cringe the most. My friend dips her pizza on Coke. I used to be obsessed with A1. I would put it on everything possible because I loved it so much. One day I put it on Jell-O. I no longer enjoy A1. As a kid, we heard about cheeseburger pizza. Pizza but with ketchup and mustard instead of tomato sauce. American cheese instead of mozzarella. And hamburger meat on top. So, we tried it. You wouldn't think it would be that different. The ingredients are the same as an actual hamburger. Except pizza dough is actually very different from the bread of a hamburger bun. It's kind of sweeter and fluffier, and really soaks in the ketchup and mustard to an absolutely disgusting degree. It's awful. Well, I just saw that Hellmann's mayonnaise has come out with a Cadbury Eggs mayonnaise and I'm really concerned for the people who eat that abomination. Raw Brussels sprouts dipped in peanut butter. A friend of mine once ate peanut butter with his hands out of the jar in the back seat of my car on a 10-hour drive. I also saw him make a salad by peeling lettuce off a head of lettuce he pulled from his backpack and hand-tearing red peppers up while standing next to a knife rack, then eating it without any dressing. He's basically a NYC caveman. When I visited my aunt's family as a kid, she served a purple cow milk mixed with grape juice for breakfast. If you haven't tasted that, take my word for it, it's not a great concoction. My cousin put salt in her cereal on time. She puked like 5 minutes after.
Thanks for watching and please like and subscribe to support the channel.